What I need from you is understanding. How can we communicate if we don't hear what we say? What I need from you is understanding. As simple as one, two, three. Understanding is what we need. I would like to talk about communication. Communication, whoa. Yeah. Lately, I've been going through a lot and I haven't been vlogging about it. But yeah, it's like I've been going through funerals of relationships that just don't function right. I'm so glad that people are still alive, but yeah, communication made it that we had to go our separate ways. And it's so sad, really, when I come to think about it, because so many relationships get destroyed from communication or understanding or the will to meet each other halfway, etc., etc. And I just wanted to open my heart about it and just share, and because it happens to so many of us that things get destroyed unnecessary, or sometimes, well, when things are toxic or just not good for you. Toxic is such a hard word, but sometimes things just don't work out and you really have to do what's best for you at that time in your life. And sometimes it's just temporarily and sometimes it's for good. But it's still sad. It doesn't make it easier. It doesn't make it easier to know that things don't work out when you want things to work out. So, but again, back to the communication. Wow, it is so difficult. But on the other hand, it's not really difficult because if you really take time to hear what somebody's saying or trying to say and really listen without judgment, listen with your heart, listen with compassion, I think a lot of communication could work out. Because I remember reading once on an Instagram post that people read things in the state of mind that they're actually in at that moment. So if you're going through a dark period of time in your life, whatever you see or hear, without you really knowing it, subconscious, you really read things that way. You receive those things that way. But if you're in a good place and you have to go through some kind of communication with somebody, you really hear things in a positive way, in a good way. So it's all connected. Our body, mind, and soul is always connected. And it's also that way with communication. But in life, we also know, you know, if you're like an honest person or you try to be as honest as you possibly can, it's difficult to be with people who are choosing to be dishonest about whatever, the rain and the sun. It doesn't matter. Difficult things, easy things. And that's why I say sometimes it's malcommunication that really get people to part, but sometimes it's also behavior. What are you choosing to behave in? What are you choosing to be in this life? Are you choosing to be dishonest and manipulate people and dominate people and force your way of living on people? Because I realized that I had that in me also. I wanted things my way. I was like, oh, oh, looking at other people's relationships and thinking, oh, they shouldn't accept that and they shouldn't do that or they shouldn't do. And I was like, please, mind your business. If people want to live the way they want to live, it's up to them. We all have our own journey to live. We all have to do what's best for us to do. But going back to just my life, I'm really now learning to focus more on myself because I was so, yeah, depressed at times and sad. And then I really had to think, hey, what makes you feel that way? And it's often by comparison or thinking that you have to be a certain way for approval, etc., and living up to expectations that you just cannot live up to. And that's when I really started, hey, be you, be free. It's a message I always share. And I guess I fell and had to get back up from that same message because that's such a powerful message when we really get it. And I got it, but I let it go. So, but hey, fall, get back up. Be you, be free. Be who you really want to be, need to be on your journey. Live your best life now to the fullest, to the max. And don't compare. Don't try to live up to other people's expectations. Don't try to please people because nobody can do that. It's really suffocating. So now I decided to just step back into who I am and who I want to be and enjoy my family shared. I have 5 children. I'm happily married and I'm blessed that way. I have my children, and before I used to think, but we need a big house and we need expensive things and we need this and that to buy for our children. And my children are the ones that taught me, just by the way we are together, that those things really don't matter. They enjoy our evening walks that we take together. And we have teenagers and they just enjoy walking with us. They enjoy sitting on the table after dinner and just communicating about things we see on the TV, things we experience in our families, and sharing their lives. And that's such a undescribable feeling that they just want to connect with us. They enjoy just sitting with us, talking with us. My 14-year-old son would just come on my lap and sit on me and hug me, or he would be just goofing around with his father. And I'm like, wow, I have so much to be grateful for. And before, as I said, I thought, I have to buy them expensive clothing. I have to make sure our house is the most beautiful big house. And I was always looking on the internet for a bigger house and more this and more that, not realizing that my children were just satisfied just the way we are, being together, communicating. They have such beautiful characters. And that's the part of me that made me so sad, to know that they're such loving, nice children, and that I really don't have a family that wants to connect with us, that wants to connect with our children. But at the same time, I was also very happy. I don't want people to touch their innocence, to touch their beautiful character. What if they connect with our family members or with other people and that they become the way they are? So I was on a scale. Like, a part of me wants them to connect and have a lot of friends and connect with family. And another part of me was like, I'm so glad that our family chooses not to be a part of us. So that's just me sharing. But again, communication is so, so important. And I'm not saying that communication could solve everything, because again, sometimes if you're a certain way and that person is a certain way, you can communicate all you want, but it won't work. Because if you know from yourself, hey, I'm a dishonest person, I like to manipulate people, I like to lie about things and cheat and blah, 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 and they don't, then you're not a match. And it's like that. We have to also be honest with ourselves and learn to be honest and know who you are. Because when you know who you are, then you don't take on that rejection. So, anyway, blah, 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 blah. Communication is important, but also knowing who you are is very important. I I have been blah 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 in this video. But again, as I said, I've been going through a very difficult time in my life because I've been having to, as I said, say goodbye to people in a deeper way. And that was tough. That was really tough. Saying goodbye to people who are still alive. But as I always say, where doors close, new doors can open. And sometimes certain doors close, but they can reopen when people heal themselves and really work on themselves and realize that, hey, maybe this, what I'm doing isn't so good. And I can change that about myself because, hey, I've changed a lot in my life. And I wasn't always how I am now. So everybody can change. Where there's a will, there's a way. That's something my mom always used to say. Have a fantastic day. I hope that makes sense. Bye bye. Don't forget, communicate if there's a good reason to communicate. Пока-пока. До свидания. Увидимся.